Hello. This presentation is on nursing science and the foundation of knowledge, and Chapter 2, Introduction to Information Science and Information Systems, two of the building blocks of nursing informatics that we're going to talk about in this course. We all know what nursing is. It's the focus on human responses to actual or potential health problems and advocacy for our various clients. But in order to do that, we have to have technical skills to help us manage equipment and perform procedures. Also interpersonal skills, because you have to be able to interact appropriately with people, and cognitive skills to be able to observe, recognize, and collect data. We have to be able to analyze it, interpret it, and reach a reasonable conclusion that forms the basis of our decisions for nursing practice. What we're going to talk about is how nursing informatics interacts with those things and helps us to do them better. Now, we know that nursing is information intensive profession. We talk about that all the time. And we know that the steps of utilizing information, the ability to apply knowledge to a problem and act with the wisdom forms the basis of our nursing practice science. But we have to acquire data and information in bits and pieces. And then we have to be able to transform that information into knowledge that can inform our practice. Now, one of the most frequently quoted and widely accepted definitions of nursing informatics is that it's a combination of nursing science, information science, computer science, and cognitive science. In this chapter, we're going to focus on nursing science as one of these building blocks. Although in this text, we extend the traditional definition of nursing informatics to also include cognitive science as one of the building blocks. We're also going to introduce the foundation of knowledge model. That's the organizing conceptual framework of the text, and it ties the model to nursing science and the practice of nursing informatics. The American Nurses Association defines nursing in this way. Nursing is the protection, promotion, and optimization of health and abilities, prevention of illness and injury, alleviation of suffering through the diagnosis and treatment of human response, and advocacy in the care of individuals, families, communities, and populations. So what we're going to talk about and what a lot of what informatics has to do with is use of knowledge. It's all about how we generate it, how we use it, how we apply it, how we disseminate it. So as individuals, we have an amazing ability to manage knowledge. The ability is learned and honed from the time we are born until we die. We experience our environment and we learn from it because we acquire, process, generate, and disseminate knowledge all the time. Now, the foundation of knowledge model is an organizing conceptual framework. It helps us to explain the ties between nursing science, informatics, and knowledge. And it talks about cognitive science, how we learn, how we process information, and what we do with it. Informatics is used as a tool for this founding knowledge. As a faculty, it's very important that you understand how people learn and process information because that helps you to be able to prepare and develop courses and educational offerings that help your students to learn. This is the foundation of knowledge model. It's a combination of 4 elements. First, knowledge acquisition, then knowledge dissemination, knowledge generation, and knowledge processing, that they all come together. And all the information, the bytes and bits that we collect or that we learn as a student, all first are acquired. From there, we process it. We generate knowledge from these bits and pieces of information, and then we are able to disseminate it. Our students disseminate it when they take care of patients in the clinical setting. We disseminate it as we teach them. So it is applicable to clinical practice and to the practice of education. Now, this is what we know about nursing and knowledge, that we are knowledge workers. We can't perform or do what we do without knowledge. As a clinical faculty, the knowledge about our patients, about their conditions, about their families, their social settings, their psychological being. We also know that we are knowledge workers as faculty because we have to have knowledge of our craft as well as knowledge about how to teach, how to develop courses, how the brain works. So we are also knowledge workers. We are knowledge acquirers. We are acquiring knowledge all day long. We are users of knowledge. We're engineers and managers of knowledge, as well as developers and generators of knowledge. So, use of knowledge and use of wisdom, 2 separate things. We have the opportunity to be involved in the formal dissemination of knowledge by our participation in conferences or as presenters or when we attend and answer questions, as well as when we present and discuss and teach our students in class. No matter where we are, we must understand informatics and technology so that we can inform and support our practice. Now, wisdom is the application of knowledge to appropriate situation. You may have all this knowledge and all this knowledge is coming at you, but if you do not have the ability to know what knowledge to apply at what time in the appropriate situation, it's just information. In the practice of nursing science, we expect action or actions to be directed by wisdom. We expect us to be able to move beyond just knowledge to know when to use it, and we are expected as faculty to help our students know when to use it. Wisdom uses knowledge and experience to heighten common sense and insight, to exercise sound judgment in the practical matters. It's developed through knowledge, expertise, insight, and reflection. Our students begin learning that knowledge from us in the classroom as we take them to clinical units and to practice areas where there are patients and families. Then they start to have the experience through insight of their own and us, as well as reflecting on their practice, they begin to move to be able to have wisdom in what's in the situations. So beyond clinical practice, in order for nurse educators to be effective, you got to be in the habit of constantly building and rebuilding your foundation of knowledge about nursing science. Just because we start to teach and maybe we don't spend as much time in the practice areas we have before, we still have to continue to be up to date and be able to process knowledge. As researchers, we acquire and process new knowledge as we design and conduct research studies. So evidence-based practice. Not only are we involved in evidence-based practice in the areas of clinical or patient care that we take our students to, but also in the areas of teaching and developing new instructional strategies and new ways to help students learn. Nursing in the future. The future of nursing science and nursing informatics is intimately associated with education and research arenas. SCIBA, way back in 2007, suggested that we need techno-savvy and well-informed faculty who can demonstrate the appropriate use of technologies to enhance the delivery of nursing care. We have to be able as faculty to be able to use all the technologies to promote learning. Just knowing technology does not help students learn. Understanding what the technology does, how it can be applied, and what the expectations are for students is how we can use all kinds of technology and informatics to help our students. Technology in this world is only getting more, and we cannot put our heads in the sand. We must learn it. Our students are very techno savvy, so we have to, as faculty, keep up with them and keep up with what's going on because it's moving in lightning speed on our clinical areas as far as how technology is being implemented. Now, chapter 2 is about information science and information systems. And I realize you probably can't see that top line, but this is all about information systems and data. What is data? That's nothing but the raw facts that we collect from all the different things, places that we teach our students, subjective, objective data. But then what's information? It's the process data that finally has some meaning. All that data we collect means nothing until we process it. Information is data that's processed using knowledge. In order for information to be valuable, first of all, it has to be meaningful. So how many times you'll see your new nurses gather all this information, but it doesn't have any meaning for the situation that's happening with the patient. It has to be accessible. So the computer and charting systems and the way we gather information has to be easy for us to get, accurate and timely. If the information isn't accurate, we will make the wrong decisions and do the wrong things for our patients. Timely, we need it when we need it. We must have all of the information we need. Cost effective, so we all know the crunch that healthcare is in today, and we can't be wasting a penny. Flexible, reliable, relevant, simple, verifiable, and secure. We all know, and we're going to, later in this course, we're going to talk a little bit about HIPAA and HITAC and the different things that have to do with security. So let's talk about data. Data we can describe as high quality data. That's data that's relevant and accurately represents corresponding concepts. Data that's dirty means there's error in the databases. It's duplicate, it's incomplete, or outdated. So we don't have the latest information about our patient. the last labs or the last assessment data from the shift before. Or it says that our patients had a certain thing 3 or 4 times when they've had it once. So that changes completely about how we might feel when we're going to treat them. It has to have integrity. So whole, complete, correct, and consistent. Now, data can be easily compromised just through human error. It's very easy when we are in a hurry and we are charting to hit the wrong keys, to pick the wrong click on the drop down boxes. Also, viruses and worms and bugs. We also have hardware failures. You know, if you work in the hospital or any area that has electronic charting, and when the systems go down and we all go back to paper, how um, how stressful that is to have to go back to that because we are used to what we are doing. There's also hackers and people trying to steal our information all the time. So what's important for nursing? What's important is that we process the information that's high quality, integrity, and create meaningful information to inform our decision making. And we need to be a part of that. The only way we can be a part of ensuring that we have systems that provide for accurate data and quality and timely is to be a part of the development and the situation. Um, it's necessary that it's valuable and meaningful, which means it's accessible and secure and timely, the things we talked about in the last slide. So let's talk a little bit about information science. All right, let's discuss a little bit about information science, the science of information. It's the studying and application and use of information, what it says. It's knowledge in organizations and interfacing or interaction between people and organizations and information systems. It enables the processing of information. So it's very important as we move through this course that we understand about the science of information. It's also multidisciplinary because it involves computer science and cognitive science and social sciences. It helps us capture data, distribute data, um, and it can be the study of the information system themselves, the actual computers. It originated in the subdiscipline of computer science, and it helps us to manage technology within organizations. Now, information systems, two parts, information processing and information systems. Information processing in the beginning with computers came from the idea of studying how humans process information processing, some of the same. So it's conversion of the latest information that helps us manifest information and knowledge. Um, it, it is extremely important in enabling processing and knowledge in the healthcare field. Now, information systems are that combination of hardware, software, telecommunications, networks. It can be based manually or it can be in the cloud, all different kinds of things. But it acquires data and inputs and processes data so that we can retrieve it and use it and generate more from it and then disseminate it. This is just the beginning of some of our discussions about um, nursing informatics and the beginning two building blocks. In our next session on week 2, we're going to look at cognitive science and computer science, and then we're going to put all of this together to help you see how every day in your practice, all 4 of these are present in some form or another. We have one assignment that I'm going to do another presentation for, where you're going to actually assess in your practice area how all of this is going on, so that you start to become very cognizant of how nursing informatics and information and knowledge is being built and disseminated. Thanks.